the first thing we're going to touch on, it's Atlanta. It's the team that you're a fan of, obviously. You got to watch them go to the East Finals last year. So what do you make of the roster heading into the year? Obviously, you extended Collins. You had a good draft. So what do you think of Atlanta heading into the year?
Of course, yeah. Like I talked a lot about this, I believe, last week when I had the Hoopers on Hawks Fan TV, and then one of my friends, Bryce, about the importance of one, like I said, keeping John Collins. That relationship that him and Trey has is like undeniable. That pick and roll game is very important to the game of basketball overall, but it's very important to our offense. So if we'd have lost John Collins, it definitely would have been a big piece of our offense, that we'd been losing out on. So it was definitely important to keep him home and under our roof. Also extended Clint, and they're talking about extending Kevin as well. And then, of course, Trey got his big payday too. So it was just good to see all the guys, them to, submit and get the guys back together. But then also, we'll have DeAndre and Cam coming up. But I think they'll both have big seasons this year as well, and hopefully prove to and play themselves into a contract to stay here as well. But I think, continue to pretend. Well, I definitely think they're contenders, because the main thing and main focus was the team coming in this year. Like, I was excited going into last year. Looking back, I was excited about all the things that we're doing, because we had just added Gallinari, Bogey, even though people felt like we overpaid for him, but we added those two. Clint hadn't really played for us yet, and at that time it was Rondo and other things. But it was a great looking team. Obviously, it just wasn't the right coaching situation. So we made the coaching change. Guys started to get healthy. We started to get a rhythm. So that transpired all the way through the playoffs, all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. And people say if Trey didn't twist his ankle on the ref, then we possibly might have been, in the finals, and who knows from there. But going into this year, I feel really good, because I feel like everything is like finally coming together. We got Coach Nate McMillan. He signed with a 4 or 5 year deal, so he'll be here. He finally has got to play his hands on the guys as a whole for a full off season. Cam and DeAndre Hunter have technically gone through their first full off season in a way, because when they came into the league, it was COVID. There's such things to where they never really had a full, shot at a full offseason, full season in general. So I think they're now finally, and they have been hurt. So I think they're finally went through a full offseason. And then also, like I said, just the health. We talked about it on the show. If these guys can just stay healthy overall, the sky's the limit for them. And the kid, they already have the chemistry there. The main guys that's been here have been together now coming on 4 years. For most, and then 3 years for others. So as long as we're able to keep the health on our side, the chemistry is there. I think that definitely the sky's the limit for them, and they can, push some of these, top tier teams, which is the Bucks and Nets. Even early on last year when we had played, we still had Coach Pierce. We I think played the Nets back to back, and we won one of the two. So it's not like they can't keep up with these teams. They definitely could play with them. And now, like I said, that everything looks like it's coming together. It should be we should be up and rolling and rising, and definitely contenders in the East at least, but definitely contenders for the overall championship.
No, I definitely have you guys in that contender status, because what a lot of people forget is that you guys were even hobbled in the playoffs last year.
Yep,
exactly. You were missing guys.
DeAndre Hunter, yeah.
Exactly. And so
Cam came late, yeah.
DeAndre and Cam are the two pieces that I'm most intrigued to watch on your team this year, because we know what Trey is. We know Ice Trey, he's going to be phenomenal. We know Capella's a double-double. We know Collins is going to provide that 18 to 20-point range that's going to help you guys with the secondary scoring side of things. But that's the key position if you're looking at the Hawks this year, for at least for me, because we've been talking about it for a couple years now. Let's wait for Hunter, let's wait for Reddish, and I'm glad that the Hawks didn't go out and do what a lot of people were calling for them to do, which was, well, let's make a trade and let's just go and get the big three. Why would you not wait for the big three when you could potentially already have it in your locker room?
Exactly.
And so I want to see what happens with. I'm obviously a big Duke guy, so I'm always hopeful for Reddish. DeAndre Hunter's looked really good in the minutes that he's played, so they have to be in that contender spot, because we talked about Kyrie with the COVID situation. If Kyrie's out, that completely changes things for the Brooklyn Nets, because yes, Harden and Durant are great, but they don't have, they're deep, but they don't have Atlanta depth. Atlanta's depth to me is top 3 in the NBA when you're going top to bottom. What teams can roll 8, 9, 10 guys out and not really miss a beat?
Yeah.
Atlanta's one of those teams. So I'm interested to see them this year. I think they definitely are in that contender spot. You know, people forget they took the Bucks to 6 games even without Hunter and with the hobbled Reddish. So who's to say they don't take that next step and then they could make it all the way to the NBA Finals again? I don't think that's out of the question. And if not this year, they're a force for years to come, given the core that they have, which is what I like the most about them.